Right now, though, we want to get to that breaking news coming out of New York, where today former mayor and Trump attorney Rudy Giuliani has just been disbarred after a court ruled Giuliani lied and lied repeatedly about Donald Trump's 2020 election loss. Keep in mind, Giuliani was the biggest legal mouthpiece for Donald Trump and his false fraud claims after Trump's loss to Joe Biden in 2020. CBS News Justice Department reporter and producer Robert Legare is here with me right now. Okay, what a time in our nation's history. We know Steve Bannon woke up in prison behind bars having breakfast, and now word Rudy Giuliani is also in trouble. How did we get here with Giuliani?
Yeah, that's right. Thanks for having me. Good morning to you all over there. Good afternoon to everybody here on the East Coast. So, Rudy Giuliani in New York, disbarred today. This comes after he was suspended from practicing law there in 2021. This ruling from officials there now finalizes that decision, and they said that he has to cease practicing law in that state from this point forward. And this comes after disciplinary officials in that state allege that he made false claims after the 2020 presidential election. What's important to remember here is that this is about using his role as an attorney to do so. He is one of a few attorneys in the former president's orbit who have been accused of using their role as a licensed attorney in various jurisdictions to push those false claims after the 2020 election. And so he is one of a few, as I said, attorneys in Trump's orbit. John Eastman, Jeff Clark as well are going through their own legal proceedings. They haven't officially been disbarred. John Eastman in California and other jurisdictions, and Jeff Clark here in Washington. They are fighting those allegations here. But again, the key here from the New York court with Rudy Giuliani is that they found that he used his role as an attorney to do that. Now, Giuliani came out with a statement from a spokesperson calling this politically and ideologically corrupted, and said they will appeal this decision further. So this might not be the final word here, but that's the news that we're getting today.
Attorneys lining up. Now let's talk about what's going on with Donald Trump's New York case. We understand that there was supposed to be some big moves happening around July 11th, but I'm getting word that prosecution and the defense have come to an agreement. There may be a delay there. What do you know there?
Yeah, so this is after the Supreme Court decision in the federal 2020 election-related case that came yesterday in the former president's legal troubles. His attorneys filed a petition with the New York court saying that because of that decision, they believe that the conviction should be tossed out in the New York hush money criminal case that was brought by state prosecutors there. They said that the decision from the Supreme Court basically said because some evidence that was introduced that because the Supreme Court found that some evidence related to official acts can't be introduced in criminal proceedings, that would then mean that some of the evidence introduced in the state prosecution in Manhattan would not have been allowed to be introduced. And so prosecutors are saying, fine, we will delay that July 11th sentencing until we can hash this out further.
Wow. Okay. Thank you so much. One ruling affects another ruling, and a whole nation waits to see what happens. Robert Legare, thank you so much for joining us there from Washington.